Hello everyone, hope you've had or are having a good day. I have, and I'm filming this back to back again in the same pyjamas as I was the time before and the time before that. And this is Wednesday's video, and yeah, so this story is Emily the Goat. And sit back, relax, from Blackberry Farm again. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. Emily was a very nice goat. She had a light brown shaggy coat, 2 little horns and a neat little beard. She was born at Blackberry Farm in a bad snowstorm. Mr. and Mrs. Smiles and their children, Joy and Bob, were very excited. But Emily's mother could not feed her, so Mrs. Smiles gave her a bottle. Soon Joy learnt to feed her too, and sometimes Bob fed her. When Emily was only 2 years old, she had a baby of her own, a little billy goat, which Joy and Bob loved. And there was not enough food at Blackberry Farm for 2 goats, so Billy went to live with some friends down the road. Emily was a very good goat, and she gave Mrs. Smiles as much milk as she could, 2 jugfuls in the morning and 2 jugfuls at night. Sometimes Naughty George, the Blackberry Farm kitten, would be there at milking time, hoping for a little extra milk, and Emily would give him a drop, and then Mrs. Nibble's baby bunnies were all in bed with measles. Emily would find a little extra for her too. So everyone at Blackberry Farm was very fond of Emily, because she was such a kind, helpful goat. Then one day Mr. Smiles was very worried, and scratched his head, and racked his brains, and wondered what to do. He told his trouble to Mrs. Smiles as she was milking Emily. "There's a little lamb in the field, and her mother has no milk for her. I'm afraid she will die." "You must feed her with a bottle," Mrs. Smiles said. "Bring her up to me." So Mr. Smiles went down to the field. Little Martha the lamb was crying sadly because she was so hungry, and Mr. Smiles picked her up and brought her straight to Mrs. Smiles. "I don't know where we are going to get any more milk," Mrs. Smiles said, "unless Emily can help us." Emily looked at little Martha in Mrs. Smiles's arms, and she thought hard. Then she turned to Mrs. Smiles and said, "I'll try very hard, Mrs. Smiles, but I must have some more to eat." So everyone at Blackberry Farm went. Mrs. Nibble and Walter brought some fresh green leaves. Mother Hen and Lucy Mouse formed her some extra corn and maize, and Mrs. Squirrel gave her some nuts. And then in the evening, after Mrs. Smiles had milked Emily, there were 3 jugfuls of milk. Mrs. Smiles was very pleased with Emily. "You are a dear good goat," she said. "Now we are able to give little Martha her bottle." So every day Mrs. Nibble and her Mother Hen and Walter Duck and Lucy Mouse and Mrs. Squirrel all brought a little something for Emily. And every day Emily gave Mrs. Smiles a little extra milk, and Mr. and Mrs. Smiles and Joy and Bob all told her what a dear good goat she was. And Emily was very happy at Blackberry Farm. So I hope you enjoyed this tonight's story, and there'll be another one tomorrow. So subscribe so you know when it is, or you can just keep checking if you don't have an account on YouTube, which I can see some people might not. So that's always an option. But if you have an account, subscribe if you want more story time, and let thumbs up this video so I know that you are enjoying it, and comment down below what stories you'd like me to read. At the moment I'm just going through Blackberry Farm, but if you guys want a different story, then I can always do that, read that out for a bedtime story. So I'll see you for tomorrow's story, which is another adventure in Blackberry Farm. So I'll see you then, and yeah, bye.